So here we are exploring the Murray River by paddle wheeler today, leaving from Wentworth, which is a small town in New South Wales in the far west of New South Wales. A beautiful historic town with a famous jail, and it's at the confluence of the Darling and the Murray, so a very significant place, Wentworth, and a big paddle boat hub in colonial times, and of course a lot of commerce went through, including convicted criminals and no doubt indigenous people as well who were incarcerated. Very austere brick built buildings. The heat here, it gets to like 50 degrees sometimes in the summers, so you can imagine it would just be horrendous. The museum is fascinating. Just across the road, it's got the history of soldier settlers that came here in the First World War and the Second World War, and people, they built like their tin boats out of just basic tin. The famous Massey Ferguson T20 tractor, my family had two of these, and that tractor actually saved the town by building levees, a whole load of them, when the big floods came. There was big floods many times. 56, 57 was a big one. More recent years we've had floods here, a few years ago. And this is the new visitor centre, which has just opened. So it was really interesting. But back on the Mildura, the steel-built paddle wheeler, she was built in about 1987, the Mildura, and seen here we're departing to go upriver. It's about a 50k ride, a 50k trip to Mildura. Mildura is where my wife and I lived for about well over a year and a half, and so we got to know the area very well. This big old paddle wheeler goes about 6 or 7 knots, going against the current, only a slight current, twisting its way sort of east and maybe northeast back towards Mildura. It's been operating here for many years, and it's among several in the area. There's quite a few. The Kunawara is probably one of the more authentic ones. It's based up in Mildura. So the banks here, the left bank is New South Wales and the right bank is Victoria, and you'll probably see as we go on there's lots of camping, and it's much wilder basically on the Victorian side, and they're not so strict about camping, and I enjoy exploring all this desert Mallee country with my dirt bike and my Subaru all-wheel drive, and of course we kayak, and today's story is really about the paddle wheelers and how the river operates. It's an area that completely depends on the river. Carol's enjoying the views from inside, and we had lunch, and the Mandu crew, a nice bunch of people, and they rely on the tourist trade. Approaching one of the very interesting features of the Murray, the bridge, the Abbotsford Bridge. It's one of the very unusual opening bridges on the Murray. It's an interesting design. Lots of houseboats moor on the Murray. It's pretty strictly regulated on both banks, the houseboat lifestyle, and I don't believe they're allowed to live on these boats. We're now reaching the end, coming to Loch 11 in Mildura, one of about 13 lochs on the Murray, and there's lots of weirs, about 16 weirs and 4 major dams. It's a very controlled river. It's not a wild river by any means. It's very controlled, the height of the river and the flow, except when the floods come, and then they have to remove many of the weirs to let the floodwaters go down. These lochs are incredible. Every loch has a loch keeper, and they have to be maintained to a good standard so that the tourist traffic, it is really all tourist traffic, can navigate the length of the river. As I said, it's one of the longest navigable rivers in the world, the Murray. It's a very incredible long river, and we have to climb up here a bit higher so that the water's being taken in. That's the weir beside this loch. It's unusual because the island is actually, it's an island with a weir. It's an island with a weir, and it's coming into Mildura now. We're and there's the Coonawarra paddle wheeler, which is, I think, is up for sale at the moment. Mildura is the only major city on the Murray, and its whole lifeblood is the Murray River. So it's an incredible story, and of irrigation as well, because of the river being distributed around. So that's the day on the Murray River.